Brenay cross-examination of him was very SHITTY. Thank you, love. Was very itty. It didn't make sense. It didn't have no context to it. We didn't see the point of her, why she was asking, that question. She asked him, you said that you heard me and Mr. Montague in the room having sex, and you didn't say nothing. You didn't say nothing. And he said, like I said earlier, I chose silence over violence. And then she said, well, why didn't you say anything? He said, because talking to you, you flip things back on me. So what was the point? So then she asked him if Akira was just such a good sister to you, and you saw her like a sister, you didn't feel comfortable to talk to her. And he said, like I said, I didn't want the burden of breaking up her happy home. Then she tried to ask another question. Akira mama is on the stand now. Hold on a second. Devin was trying so hard not to laugh. And I know it was a defense mechanism of him, as far as him trying to push through, because the stuff was ludicrous. And when I say ludicrous, I mean it was just, she ain't got no defense. I'm just gonna tell y'all, this girl has no defense. Every time she so when she cross-examines, she asks questions that have already been answered by the person who was on the witness stand. So it don't make sense at all. Like, when I tell y'all, it don't make sense. And so let me tell you how he identified Akira. He said, that's my cousin's wife. So yes, they are cousins. Tim went in there shaking his head then, and they was like, well, how are you all cousins? Because I know many of you all been asking that question, well, how are they cousins? He said that somebody daddy, granddaddy or somebody, I don't know if it's Tim granddaddy, but anyway, their granddaddies are related, and that's how they are related. So it goes back to their grandparents. Period. Remember Brenay said that I thought that they was playing and that they weren't cousins. But they are cousins. And he was like, their grandparents can explain it better than they can, but they are blood cousins. And you remember Brenay was like, they were cousins, and she thought they was for play, but she found out, like, for real, they're cousins, for real, they're blood cousins by blood. Like, yeah. So they are actually cousins, and it goes from their grandparents. I don't know if it's the first, second, or third, but they're blood cousins. That's all y'all need to know. Y'all wants to know. It don't matter if they first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. Just know that they are blood cousins. That's all y'all need to know. Now y'all want to know if it's the first, second, or third. God dang it. Chill, y'all. Do it matter? Y'all just wanted to know if it was real, if they were actually cousins. Yes, I'm telling y'all, I'm confirming for you guys. So all the other stuff don't matter. I say that respectfully. So let me grab my notes. What is that? A squirrel? Girl, I'm about to take out my kneecap. Oh my gosh. Did y'all hear that? I guess I'm in the squirrel way. Baby, let me move. Hold on a second. Oh, y'all, it's so much. I wrote down specific like some of their messages almost word for word. Okay, so you know how Brenay was like that they had filed for divorce. Devin said, no, we didn't file for divorce. You filed for divorce. And they was like, well, how did you file for divorce? And he was like, online. So Brenay was like, how did you know that I did it? He said, I was right there. And then she was like, that's how she was, And so he was like, when I tell y'all she really didn't have no really cross, he described Brenay in one of the messages between him and Akira, and I quote, he described her as a bully who isn't happy within herself. He said, Brenay, listen, y'all remember when we talked about Brenay had slept with Tim this particular night that Tim came over, and I think this was around February. Tell me why she lied when she said that she had not been touched by Devin in November. So in the interrogatories, they asked her who all she had romantic relationships with. She said Devin Mayo up until November of 2023. And then she said Tim June 1st of 2024. Well, Devin said that he slept with her before Tim came over, and then she turned around and slept with Tim. Spent the rest of the night with Tim. Oh, let me tell y'all this, because y'all gonna want to hear that. Let me get in the light. Move back, squirrel. Let me get in the light when I say this so y'all can get me when y'all screen record me. I'll be in good light. Tell me why he disclosed to the courts that not only did she try to get a divorce online in January, she also gave Tim the money to pay for Tim's and Akira divorce too in January. Huh? Nobody. I don't think nobody. Do you hear me? This girl, he said that she tried to pay for Tim's and Akira's divorce. In January. Now listen, when I tell you that girl had a plan, I need y'all to understand that she schemed. For all the people who kept talking about, oh, you can't make a person leave, you can't make a person do this. Baby, when I tell y'all, she went to the lengths, depths, and the heights to get that man. First, she signed for an apartment. Tim didn't leave the house until March. She signed for a lease for him, co-signed. This man had an apartment in January. Do you hear me? He had an apartment in January. She tried to pay for their divorce in January. Not only did she try to, she actually sent him the money. When I tell y'all, I didn't think that it could get any worse today. I would, like, when I say we weren't prepared, we were not prepared for Devin's and Akira's truth. And so he was talking more with Akira because he was just like, he was so tired of seeing Brenay spin this narrative, and he was like, she announced to the world that we were divorced when we weren't even legally separated. When I tell you, when I have a chance to really sit down and like literally go from start to finish with this stuff, I'm gonna most definitely do it, because this is insane.
Right, they right over there. There's a white guy, black lady, they have stands and stuff. They were doing the confusion for the thing. They said
put it, that's what he said, across all social media platforms, that they were divorced and they weren't even separated. paying for Akira's and Tim's, like when I tell y'all everything Brenay has been saying this whole time has been a lie. And it's like the level of delusion, because she was like, well, when we was he was like, well, if you was asleep, because Devin was like, I heard them talking about getting back together, and he was like, they was having conversations, and because they were having so much conversation, apparently it woke him up. So he played like he was still asleep, but he was actually woke. So she gonna say, well, were you woke or were you asleep? And he said, if I heard it, I was woke. Y'all know the sarcasm that we see. Y'all know the sarcasm that we see. Put it on YouTube. I will. Y'all know the sarcasm that we see, like Devin have now. Like, when I say I'm so proud of Devin, I am so proud of Devin. He looking them in their eyes when he's talking to them and he's communicating with them. He's not allowing anybody from that family side to intimidate him with their looks and their body languages and with the stuff that they are doing. Like, I'm reading, like, the emotions of that has been everything for me as well, to like actually see and experience. But when I tell you they have literally ate Brenay up from the witness stand, they are eating her up. So I'll come back with all the other little details to go word for word with you guys later on tonight. But let's talk about Akira's mom. So Akira's mom has now taken the stand. She describes her daughter and Tim's relationship. Man, I only thing that I can really say, I blame Brenay. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I know that Tim is messed up for like how he's acting, but Tim ain't always been like that. That girl mama broke down. No, Tim is in court. They said he had bailed out. He's in court. Tim, when Akira mama took the stand, I'm gonna tell y'all, his emotions was totally different from what I've been seeing. Like when Akira talked about, going in and out of consciousness, not remembering their second daughter's birth because she wasn't supposed to survive, is what we're seeing with Miss Vanita. But I hope I'm saying her name right, Miss Vanita, Miss Senor. Tim body language is much more relaxed. Is almost like he is sink in for him at moments where it's like, I really effed up, to be honest. When I say like his emotions, he's like this. He's breathing hard. You can see him. He ain't shaking his head, smiling. He not doing all of that he was actually doing. Go out and come back in if it's lagging. Stop asking about if he lock up. Just listen to what I'm saying. He's breathing more heavier as she talk. Tim does have a conscience. I'm gonna tell y'all, he act like he don't. And by Akira making the move that she made to literally separate from him, I think that's what got him. I'm not gonna even lie to y'all. I believe that what got him. He the emotions I would describe is one of emotional, but trying not to show his emotions. He don't show any anger. He don't shake his head. Like, his body language is completely different while Akira mom is on the stand. Like, it's just totally, I gotta get in some light, you guys. And I need to get some food. When I say totally different, I mean just that it's totally different. She was like, Tim asked for Akira's hand in marriage. And he came to her to ask for her hand in marriage. And she was like, you're so young. Y'all are so young, And he was like, Akira's my best friend. And he said, who better to build this struggle with than her? Wow. She talked about how he was there for her. How Tim was a family man. Tim was a family man that did what he was supposed to do in the very beginning. as a man. You understand? He was a family man. The mom described him as being totally different from what they see. She was like the family didn't want. She was like the family didn't want. The family didn't want her to marry because she was so young. They were so young. But the mama said she promised them that if they do what they're supposed to do, and if Tim does what he was supposed to do, she was going to do everything that she could to make sure she helped them inside their union. And she did all of that. She said Tim was in college. She supported him. The reason why him and Akira couldn't be together while he was in college because they didn't have an apartment. She couldn't get an apartment in Wilson. She didn't even have the finances to do it. But they were living in her home. When she moved out of her home for a year to practice in Maryland, Tim and Akira stayed there, and she paid all the bills. She took care of all the bills just to make sure that she saw them make it. When I tell you, she talked about they was very family oriented, which they did show a bunch of pictures, showing how family oriented. They've never been separated before. That's a lie. Brenay was on here talking about they were separated. She said they never been separated. The only time they were separated was because Tim was in college and had to stay on campus because he had a scholarship, and Akira was at home. Moderators, y'all can cut the comments. When I tell y'all that lady, Akira mom, held down her part, did what she's supposed to do, and after the separation, Tim just went AWOL, completely just off the handle. He no longer. She said he wouldn't even buy pull-ups for the baby. He had only given them $90. He had given her 2 outfits, and then he gave them an outfit apiece. Then came back and gave them another outfit apiece, and those outfits were too little. This your purse? Okay, I didn't want to walk off. I'm finna go get in this line so I can get some food. When I tell you this was literally crazy, this was crazy. This was something else, y'all. It's 1 o'clock. I'ma get off. I'll come back and talk more if I have time to. I need to eat. I guess I got a hungry headache. At some point I'ma open up. No, I'm not. No. Subscribers, y'all be ready. I have to do a subscribers live with you guys. I figure out what day I'm gonna do that subscribers live. I will give you guys the opportunity. We'll do a panel on the subscriber side, and you guys can ask me questions. I know tonight I'll answer you guys questions. But y'all, it's a lot. I think the missing piece for us, like I said last night, was we never heard Devin's. We heard a little bit of Devin, but we didn't hear any of Akira's. So I'm gonna go through like the little notes with Akira, with her therapist. I'm gonna go through more notes between Devin and Akira. I did get a chance to write some of those down, like the ones that was like, everything really stood out. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, but the ones that y'all wanted to hear more about that. So I'm gonna make sure that I do that tonight as well. We're gonna try to get through that. But it's something, y'all. We was talking to a lady who's been in the court listening in. She's in the course as well, and I think this may roll over to Monday. I don't think it'll be done tomorrow because there are so many other steps that after all the witnesses get through testifying, cross-examination and all of that, there's another portion, and then there's some more steps in between that before the jury even deliberates. So the jury will not be going into a deliberation on today for sure. They may deliberate tomorrow, and then they have to go by like the laws and stuff as it relates to the case, and then we won't know like a true judgment until possibly Monday. If they do it before then, it'll be great by tomorrow. But the lady was like, when she got through explaining it, I was like, okay, yeah, I don't see that happening tomorrow. So it'll most definitely happen Monday for sure. Monday morning. It probably be wrapped up around Monday morning. But thank you guys. But y'all make sure that y'all following. I'm gonna try to keep y'all updated as much as possible. Fill you guys in as much as possible. I'll still be here. And that will be that. Okay, you can turn the comments back on.
Yeah, we're about to go get some hot dogs. I'm not gonna lie. This is a hot dog stand.
Moderators, y'all can turn the comments back on. On.